name is Sempowski. Sempowski.
My name is Cailin.
My name is Kreiling. This is Me Foundation.
Zoe Thompson. My name is Kati Redman. My
name is Lauran Jones.
I'm Milkereit.
In a society where everyone is the same, then it wouldn't really be anything new all the time.
Straight Alex. I am pansexual. I am gay.
This is me.
Lauran Jones.
My name is Sempowski.
My name is Joey Kreiling.
In 5th grade, I was bullied a lot.
I had a relationship.
I'm a lesbian.
Zoe Thompson.
I'm Emily Franks.
My name is Cailin.
I'm bisexual.
I came out on January 7, 2012.
And I am pansexual.
I was in a very poor mental state.
My dad's cousin, he is gay.
My name is Kati Redman.
I believe that people in the LGBT plus community should just be treated as normal people.
Hi, my name is Cailin Clarke, and I am the president of the This Is Me Foundation.
And I worked with Cailin Clarke on the This Is Me project.
My name is Milkereit.
I'm a straight ally.
This is me.
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 This is me. This is me.
My name is Cailin Clarke, and I am in charge of the This Is Me Foundation and the This Is Me project. My parents got divorced in the summer of 2013, and it was a very emotional experience for me because my family was one of those families that were always going to be together, and we were always there for one another. And when they got divorced, it kind of set me thinking that what I had for all of these years was suddenly gone. And so around that time, which was in between 7th and 8th grade, I started thinking a lot about who I was because my mom was like, she was having fun, like discovering all of these new things about herself, and don't really like my dad and her still get along pretty well, but when she began to realize all of these things about herself, I started to wonder more about myself too, because I saw my mom and I saw like she was an entirely different person to me, and so I thought, well, I should try to move on too. And before the divorce, I was never really in touch with my own feelings, and I didn't like to share how I felt with other people. And when I got divorced, I started acknowledging myself more so than I did before, because before it was all about making other people happy. What did other people think of me? And so I had to change that, I felt like. And so in between, well, throughout 7th grade, I had a feeling that I was very different from the other people I went to school with. I went to a very, very small school, and no one was really different from each other there. I mean, the population was diverse, but like they were all kind of the same. So like there were different races and different ethnicities and everything, but everyone is pretty much the same. And so I was scared when I went to that school because I was like, no one's going to accept me here for who I am. What am I gonna do? I don't know. But when I went into DSA, I started thinking a lot more about this, and I was like, you know, I should stop ignoring who I am, and I should be like more in touch with myself. And so throughout 7th grade, I was having feelings, and I found myself not thinking about girls as much as I did about boys. And I had like really close guy friends, and I never ever told them any of that because I thought, oh my god, I'm going to like make myself completely strange, and like they're never gonna want to talk to me again. So I kept those feelings hidden throughout 7th and 8th grade. But in the summer between 8th and 9th, I traveled a lot, and if anyone has really been traveling a lot, that means that you have a lot of time to yourself and your own thoughts. And I started to realize things about myself that I never believed could even be true. And one of those was that I was gay. And I had thought about coming out as bisexual before, but then I realized that bisexual part of me was just trying to say, like, you know, you can't like boys, like that's just not allowed. And so when I said that to myself, it was like, okay, it's a little bit different, but I mean, I'm still half normal, and so I thought that would be okay. But then I began to realize I was gay, and I came out to my mom and my dad, who thankfully are both very, very loving, even though they're divorced, and they still accepted me for who I was. And I sat down with my mom and dad, and I was like, I'm gay. And my dad was like, you know, whatever makes you happy, and I'm gonna support you regardless of what you like, regardless of who you're in love with. And I was like, okay. And my mom was a little bit different, but not in a bad way. I told her, and she was a lot less serious about it. I was like, Mother, I am gay. And she laughed. Yeah, she laughed, and she was like, I know. So I don't know what that tells you about myself, but I just can't believe how lucky I am to have a family that is like my parents. And when I came out to my sister, she was the same exact way. And she accepted me, and I mean, I still feel like nothing about me has changed. I'm still the same person. I'm still gonna have like the same ambitions. I mean, all that really's changed about me is that I'm gonna fall in love with a man and not a woman.
Hi, my name's Joey Kreiling, and I am gay. So, in the 8th grade, I was in a relationship that wasn't exactly the best relationship. I sort of was made that I felt very useless in the relationship. I didn't feel like I was needed at all, and my significant other at the time was in a poor mental state, and that must have influenced me when I got out of the relationship because it left me in a very poor mental state as well. And that resulted in me drinking a lot and not eating properly, denying myself meals, and just general self-harm. And it took a while to really get out of that state because it's almost like an addiction. You get stuck and you just keep going and you don't know how to get out. And this went on for about a year before I really realized and told myself that this wasn't okay what I was doing to my body. And I had to pull myself out, and luckily I was able to, and nothing like extreme came from it. So if any of y'all are going through something similar to that, or having trouble like identifying yourself, like don't worry, don't be influenced by other people just because they're dating girls doesn't mean you have to date girls. Just because someone else is like abusing themselves doesn't mean that it's gonna help you. And it's just very important to like know your own identity, even though it might take a while and there may be like a year where you just don't know who you are or what you want to do. It's okay, because at some point you will realize who you are and you know what gender you're attracted to, what gender you like, what gender you are. And I hope that if anyone else is in that situation, that they can get out of it quickly, they can seek help, they can reach out, and they can recover without anything extreme happening to them.
Hi, I'm Zoe Thompson. I'm bisexual. I first found, well, I guess you could say found out that I was bisexual, because I don't believe that like you were born straight. I believe that you were born what you are, and then society like makes this thing where it's like everybody's straight, everybody has to be the same orientation. So, I mean, I guess I found out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and I was really confused and really scared because all my friends were like starting to talk about boys, because it was like the stage where you get out of cooties. And I was scared, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I think I like this girl at school. And she was like, no, you don't. You don't like girls. There's no such thing as a girl liking a girl. You can't do that. And I mean, I guess it made me happy at the time, but like over time I realized like she was wrong. And then I was in this relationship and I told him that I like girls, and he didn't even like acknowledge what I had gone through like with my friends, because my friends had like, well, not all of my friends, but like some of my friends were like, oh my god, do you like me? You're in a relationship, you can't like me. It's just like, I didn't even say that. I just said that I like girls. But like, that's not the point. The relationship I was in, that I was with at the time, he was like, oh, that's hot, we should have a threesome. And I'm just like, no, first of all, I am in 8th grade, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, and I guess when I came to DSA is when I guess came out more as a person, because at first when I was in middle school, my school was like really conservative. It's like a middle school and high school, and there was like one lesbian couple, but everybody knew them, so nobody like really judged them or cared. But then there was like, I knew a lot of people that were in the class and they were like, I'm not gonna come out because the school is too conservative, I'm gonna judge too much and I can't do it. And I guess when I came to DSA, everybody was just like, oh yeah, everybody's like gay or genderqueer. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Come out here, because I don't really care about who knows my sexuality now besides my mom, because I still haven't come out to her yet. Like, I don't know what to do. I might just make her cookies and just be like, I'm half gay. like talk about my family. Yeah. So I haven't really talked about anybody in my family besides my aunt. And it's not that she doesn't like deny me as a person. She just denies me to my family, if that makes any sense. Because if I ever told anybody in my family, they would like freak out and they would like take me to church for like a week and they'd be like, cleanse you of your sins since you kissed a girl and you like girls. It's not even, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because my whole family was raised conservative and part of my family is part of the church, so it's just like really hard. And I guess religion kind of falls into this too, because I think I am Christian, but I don't want to believe in a God that thinks it's okay to be conservative, because like it's just not modern enough. Because then nobody, well, I mean, not everybody is going to be gay. It's just like there's not always going to be a time where everybody's judged for being gay or pansexual or like any other sexuality than heterosexual. And you're not less of a person than what people say you are because of your sexuality or your gender.
Hi, my name is Sempowski and I'm straight. So one time in 5th grade, I was bullied a lot because people thought I was gay, and it made me really upset to feel like I wasn't accepted in my class. And my classmates really made fun of me because of the things that I did. And I hung out with a lot of girls because we liked to play games and stuff on the playgrounds, and the guys really just did soccer and I wasn't really into soccer. And so people would make fun of me just because I didn't play soccer or because I didn't play kickball with them, even though I didn't really want to. My dad's cousin, he is gay. He lives in California, so that means they can still be legally married. But when I think about how gay people are treated in North Carolina and other places, it kind of makes me feel upset because they're not really any different from us, and they shouldn't be treated in a different way just because they want to do different things than what I guess is socially acceptable.
Hi, I'm Emily Franks, and I'm a straight ally because when I was younger, everyone around me told me that being gay was unnatural. But when I saw more and more gay couples, I couldn't understand why it could ever be wrong. 2 of my best friends are gay, and I'll support them with whatever they're going through. And I'm sure that there are people that will not judge you and will love you no matter what.
Hi, so my name is Kati Redman and I am gay. And I've always kind of referred to myself as gay. Like I've never called myself a lesbian really, because I think there's just so many like stereotypes with lesbian, you know, like the short hair kind of dyke look. And I'm really like not. I'm not like the stereotypical lesbian, if there even is that. Like everyone's like, oh my god, I never thought you were gay, like you dress so straight. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I am. And so like a couple years ago, I was with one of my guy friends that was actually more than a guy friend. I liked him a lot. And and he was like, so what's your perfect like vision of like a boyfriend? And I was like, you? And then I was like, well actually no. My perfect boyfriend would be like no facial hair, like I'm not really into that like muscle kind of thing. And I was like, hold up. Kind of describing a girl here. So I was like, maybe I'm not straight. So I talked to my friend about it, and she was like, oh my god, I've been going through the same thing. And we were like, well, you know, if you really want to know, you could just like date a girl. And we were like, let's date. So we dated for a week, and I took it way too seriously. I was like, oh my god, our 1 week anniversary, we are destined to be together forever. And she broke up with me the day after. So, but I knew I was bi. I was like, yeah, I'm bi, this is me. And then the year after, like, I don't know, I watched a lot of Orange is the New Black. And I did a lot of soul searching. And I was like, girls are perfection, and maybe I'm just into girls mostly. So yeah, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gay. Pretty sure I'm gay. So I told everyone I was gay. And I came out to my dad on October 11th, which is National Coming Out Day. And I cried a lot. Like the month before, if I was on my period, but also I was like what if he doesn't love me anymore? Like, he always does these nice things. Once I was at dance and I was really hungry, and he was at his girlfriend's house, which was like half an hour away, and I was like, Dad, I'm starving to death. And he like dropped everything and brought me like some pretzels. And I was like what if he doesn't do all these nice things for me anymore? If I tell him that I'm not, his perfect daughter that's gonna grow up and marry a guy and have a bunch of children. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, you know how every Monday I've been saying that like I've been doing a dance thing? Well, it's actually not true, because I've been going to the Queer State Alliance because I'm gay. And he was like, oh, okay, and he started laughing, and I told him the story, and he was like, cool. And honestly, I think he forgot. Except, yeah, he just never brought it up after that. Except one time at Olive Garden, I was doing my makeup, and he was like, you don't have to look good, there are no cute guys around, or girls. And honestly, I was like, oh, Dad, but inside I was like, oh my god, he actually remembered that I'm not straight. And I was just like so happy inside for some reason. And I told my mom, because I was really mad at her, I was like, you always are telling me that I don't tell you anything, but guess what, I'm gay, so now you know everything about me, congratulations. And that really was not the best way to come out, honestly. She was just kind of like, okay, I love you no matter what. But yeah, I think I've only dated that one girl, actually, because I don't know, no one likes me that way. But girls are just beautiful creatures, honestly. They really are. So yeah, that's my story.
I believe that people in the LGBT plus community should just be treated as normal people, because even though their sexuality is different than us, doesn't mean that they are different. Because in a society where everyone is the same, then it wouldn't really be anything new all the time. And so I believe that they should be who they are, and they should just be able to love themselves openly and freely in front of everybody, and not have to feel so oppressed and so like, oh, I'm different, I can't do this. Like, you can do it, and you are the same as everyone. You're amazing, and you are you. And you should feel yourself. You should be yourself everywhere.
Hi, my name is Lauran Jones, and I'm a lesbian. When I was 6 years old, I had a crush on my god cousin, she was a girl, and I remember thinking that wasn't okay, and I also remember thinking how I wish girls and girls could get married, and how I hoped it would be okay, but I knew it wasn't. And then later in life, when I was in 7th grade, my best friend Kayla, she came out to me as bisexual, and I remember thinking it's okay to like girls, and that was the first time I realized that I like girls. I don't want to date them. And then my grandmother, she told me one time when I was driving with her that she didn't think that LGBT plus people shouldn't not have rights, but she believed that they shouldn't be able to get married because it wasn't in the Bible. And that really hurt. Like, I wasn't sure how to respond to that. And it makes me scared that she's not going to accept me and she's not going to come to my wedding. And then my mom told me when I was 12 that she was okay with LGBT plus people and it wasn't going to affect her in any way. But she did say that it would, a child shouldn't be able to decide how they feel. And I don't know, I had already figured out that I like girls, and I was like, oh, well, my mom doesn't support me either, and so she doesn't know, and none of my family does know. And there are times when I just see a cute girl on the street and I say, hey mom, she's really cute, I want to date her, but I realize I can't, and because she's not going to accept me, I'm pretty sure she's not going to accept me because I'm too young.
My name is Cailin, and I am pansexual. I guess I kind of known all my life that I was like a little bit queer, but I never really knew what being gay or bisexual or pansexual was. I remember when I was like 6, my first crush was Meg from Hercules, and I just never told anyone about it because they think I'm weird. And then I guess in like 6th or 7th grade, I was like, I like girls. Definitely not straight. And I came out as bisexual to my friends. And then later, I was like, I do not fit into the label of bisexual. And I came out again as pansexual, because coming out isn't just a one-time thing. It's a process you go through throughout your whole life. I guess I've only dated like 1 or 2 girls. I guess guys are just easier to date sometimes, and especially in middle school when there are not many out queer girls or people. I guess my experiences with boys and people in general have just been I'm either straight or gay, which I'm not. People think I have to fit into one category, or they say like, can I watch you make out with a girl? Like, can I watch you have sex with someone? Like, no, you cannot. Being bi or pansexual is legitimate and real, and we are not here for your fetishization. We're not. As far as like my family goes, I guess they try to deny that I am queer because I've never really brought a girl home. But I guess their denial is, I like it more than their previous, like, you're going to hell if you're gay. I guess it's nice that my parents have come out of that and are slowly realizing that they need to accept me because I'm their kid, not because they need me to be straight, not because I need to be just one thing.
Hi, my name is Milkereit, and I am gay. I guess I first ever had the notion of this when I was in 9th grade. 2 seniors started a GSA at my school, and the only other time I'd ever heard anyone use the word gay was in elementary school, and it was on the playground when we were playing soccer or basketball, and someone, like a guy, didn't make it, and people just like, oh, you're so gay, or whatever, and I didn't understand what they were saying. So I just threw it aside, and I guess when I asked my parents when I was younger, they were like, oh, it means happy. So I just like went around thinking gay meant happy, and I didn't quite understand why people were calling other kids gay, and I was very confused. So when these two seniors started the GSA at my old school, I decided to go and find a little more out about what that all meant. And the first meeting, there was about 6 people, and we just talked about the words in LGBT, like lesbian, gay, bisexual, pansexual, all of the above, and it opened my eyes to like a new world. I didn't realize there were so many possibilities with sexuality, and I guess it also opened like my realization to myself. That night I like laid in bed and I thought about being gay, and I was like, wow, what if I was gay? And it was like not something I'd ever thought of. But then I thought of what one of the people at the GSA had mentioned, and they were like, coming out never ends. Like, you don't just come out once and that's it. You come out throughout your entire life. And that really stuck with me because that sounded terrifying. Like, what if no one accepted you? That whole idea just terrified me. So I did not want to be gay. I was like, no, that would just not be fun. But later that year, I started having feelings for somebody, and I thought it was just like a friend crush. But then it turned into more than that, and throughout this whole process of just realizing that it's possible for me to have feelings for girls and that I do have feelings for girls, I started talking to my brother about it. He and I are very close, and that really helped, knowing that he was supporting me. And I mentioned it to my other friends, or my other friend, and he was also supportive, and he wanted me to ask this girl out. Anyways, so I started dating this girl, and that was cool. And like a week into the relationship, she was like, you should probably tell your parents. And I was like, yeah, maybe. So then that night, after dinner, I told my brother earlier that I was considering it. And my parents and my brother were just talking in the kitchen about college or something, and I was like walking by, and then I just stopped, and I was just like, it's now or never. Like, you just tell them and get it over with. And I think the reason I was waiting so long, because I realized I liked girls long before I even started dating this girl, and I just didn't want to tell them because I looked on YouTube a lot, and there was a lot of stories, a lot of negative stories, about like people's reactions to coming out, and I was scared that was going to happen to me, but I knew that my parents were accepting, so it was kind of foolish of me to think that. But when I told them, I was like, Mom, Dad, don't get freaked out or anything, but I like girls, and this girl and I are dating. And I like quickly followed that by saying, it's not a big deal, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal, don't make a big deal about it. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, it's whatever. And it was all good, and like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I don't know, I felt almost stupid for thinking that they weren't going to accept me.
I came out on January 7, 2012. I knew and I was confident in my sexuality in a younger age, but that wasn't for everyone. And as a child, I was bullied in elementary school, but I then realized that society was trying to put me in a box that I didn't really want to be in, so I let myself out of that box. So in my middle school years, I was very feminine, but I wasn't really trying to hold it back. And so I underestimated how difficult coming out was, because I usually thought like, why would it be so hard? But then I saw that the after effects, and I thought that everything would flip upside down and be upside down. But so I was being tucked into bed. I was in 6th grade, and my mom was leaving the room, and I wanted to just say, I wanted to sit down and have a conversation about it, but I just wanted to get my point across too. So I just had to say 2 words, I'm gay. But as I was trying to say it, like, the words could not escape. Like, I felt like I was being choked by my nervousness. So as she was leaving, I just kind of yelped it out. I was like, I'm gay. And she turned around and she was like, what? And I was like, I'm gay. And she wanted to ask me all of these questions and, oh, when did you figure out, oh, do you have a boyfriend? But of course I was young, so it was really awkward for me. So I was like, oh, I'm really tired. But that night I went to bed knowing that I was free out of this box, because my parents are the most important people in the world to me. And the next day I was expecting it to be quiet and awkward and tense, but the next day it was completely normal, because sexuality shouldn't be such a big thing that can tear families apart. It's just who you prefer. I don't really know why it's drawn out. It shouldn't be. But my parents loved me for who I was and didn't try to put any limits on me, so it didn't really change a lot, and it still is the same. I'm still that kid. They still treat me the same.
This is me.
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 This is me.